Well, before we start this video, I wanted to show you guys some visual cancer I saw actually on TikTok. Can't really see it. Virtually trying on clothes at Amazon. Hashtag not sponsored. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another video. Weird start to the video, but alright. GZTV bringing you guys Euphoria Season 1, Episode 4. We are halfway through the first season, which means we're a quarter of a way through this series so far. It's kind of been a blur, but man, every episode holds a lot of value, and a lot more value compared to Breaking Bad. Sorry, there's a baby upstairs. But yeah, I took a little break from my last video, but we are back. We're probably going to record the other video right after this. I'm going to take a longer break, then I'm going to watch some Euphoria and Breaking Bad, watch the game, do my news and NBA Finals recap segments. Then I'm going to record my Joey Badass album reaction because he should be dropping tonight, so that'll be exciting. Let's get into the episode. You know, they're at a carnival. Any kid, no matter what happened to them, they puked riding a roller coaster or a carnival ride or whatever, they definitely had a better night than Jules had. Jules had a very fucked up night. She was pretty much in shambles after her failed Tinder date. So yeah, you know, Rue's bestie meets Tyler at the end of the episode, and to say it doesn't go well is the understatement of the year, man. I mean, obviously this came out a while ago, so this had everyone in shock. Not really, but she's the fact that she went through with the date left people in shambles. You know, threats are made. You know, epithets are flung. Physical intimidation is levied. I mean, that's who Nate is. I leave the encounter somehow more scared for Jules than I was before. Shout out to TV Line, by the way. I'm pretty much reading off their website. It's a very thought-provoking recaps of the episode, so I like to use those. If we thought it was going to be bad between her and Nate, this just proved it's going to be even worse than we thought in the future. The entire episode pretty much takes place at the carnival. It gives us a peek at Nate's family dynamic in action at the carnival, making the chili. Kat's newfound sexual liberation with the guy with like the biggest dick in his grade, and Cassie's earth-shaking reaction to a certain drug. It was a weird one. Cassie went on a trip off the Molly. It was definitely a weird one. Rue spends time worrying about someone instead of causing worry, so that's nice, you know, taking care of her sister. You know, in the last like 2 or 3 episodes of the series, we've been giving a backstory of each of the different characters. Rue was the first episode. Well, yeah. Every episode there's a backstory of each character. I love it. It goes Rue, then Nate with like all the dicks and like him watching his dad's porn videos. There was Kat with like her becoming fat on vacation and her boyfriend dumping her, and then Jules. When Jules was 11 years old, her mom took her on a road trip. You know, we watch a young version of the blonde visit a psychiatric facility several hours drive from her home. It becomes more of a visit, more than just a visit, trust me. The place is described as where children can learn to feel better about themselves, but that's probably not true. The doctors are like reassuring her throughout the tour of the place. The place is pretty depressing, you know, cinder block walls, fluorescent lighting, lots of kids looking checked out, angry. And Jules soon says she wants to go home. I don't blame her. The place looks like a damn prison more than it is to help psychiatric patients and children. That's when she realizes that her mom has institutionalized her without saying a word. It's very fucking terrible of her mother to do, but I guess if she told her that she was doing that, then Jules probably would have not. Or if she would have told her on the car ride there, I don't know if Jules would have really had a choice at that point. You know, we learned that Jules has been sad for a really long time. That's a strong word to use for a girl of her age. She mentions in group therapy, I mean, Jules hated herself. You know, the episode kind of takes us through how Jules has hated her brain and her body for years. Obviously, the transition into the Jules she is today. We watch as she uses a ripped soda can to slice her wrist. She's told the security guard guy or whatever, the facilitator, to leave the rest of the can. She drinks it all and then uses it as kind of like a shank. And she immediately regrets it, of course, slicing her wrist. At the hospital, she does this. Eventually, though, she feels much better and comes home. So that's nice. Jules' mom, however, got worse and went away, maybe because of her daughter, maybe because of some of her habits. The dad became the primary caregiver. He's a pretty good caregiver throughout the episodes. He seems like a very nice guy. At 13, Jules started transitioning, and by 16, Jules had gotten a little slutty, which is kind of bad, but it's pretty damn normal for a teenager in modern-day society. The guy she hooks up with are almost uniformly cisgender males. Cisgender. I don't know what that means. Let me look that up real quick. Sorry, I'm stupid. I don't know what that means. She's just like... Oh, so just people that are the same birth. The opposite of transgender? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, she's kind of slutty for this. She's in a relationship and adamant that they are not gay. She wants to make sure that the people aren't gay. We see flashbacks to some of Jules' Brindesvis, including the Icky Motel evening with Nate's dad, Cal, which was highlighted a couple episodes ago, as he's violently having sex with Jules. It's said that her friend often pretends that the awfulness is happening to someone else, that someone's having sex and like taking it out on someone else rather than her, because it's not like her body ever really belonged to her in the first place, which is kind of fucked up, but it's kind of a reality that a lot of people face nowadays. Like, males are very dominant. I don't really like the principle, but it is kind of how it is. Also, Jules had a dream of spending the rest of her life with Rue, living together in a city where they'd maybe date other people, but always sleep in the same bed. Obviously, they're really, really good friends. However, that was before Tyler came into Jules' life. Tyler turns out to be a demise, so they might go back to it. Rue is ruminating on how she has no passion for anything and how she suspects most people don't, when she's interrupted by Ali, the guy from Outsider Narcotics Anonymous meeting. They meet up for pancakes. That's what they're showing. He tells her he doesn't give a shit. Why did she call him? Which you literally told her to call you. They're at a diner and she's eating pancakes, of course, like he promised. She admits she had no one else to call. It's good, though. Ali's helping her out, getting her some stuff off her chest. He probes about what prompted her to make the call, and she vaguely references her misreading of the situation in Jules' bedroom and the previous episode, obviously not going into the specifics of anything, but that might be a little too personal. Ali hones in on the girl's relationship, likening Rue's obsession with her friend to her relationship with illicit substances, which is not a very good reminder for her. But her friendship with Jules is a good thing, really. He said, didn't drugs feel real good for the first time she tried them? Obviously, the first time is always a trip. Moving on to a different storyline. Nate's entire family is at the carnival manning a chili contest booth. His dad's won it for like 5 years in a row. When Maddie approaches wearing something straight out of XTN's 2002 Dirty video, Nate freaks out. I thought that's what you liked, Nate. He asked her why she's dressed like a hooker. His parents already don't like her enough, and I don't know if that's necessarily true. That is news to her. She didn't know this before, I guess, so she's got to go home and change into something more respectable. She instead stalks off to find her friends. She's not listening to that dumbass dude. When McKay and Cassie swing by the Jacob family booth, Cal harangues McKay about how he's gotten very little playing time in his college football team, which is fucking weird. Cal's a very weird character. He said he's just trying to help him keep a girl like her. It's not wrong. But then when McKay says that he and Lexi's sister are just hanging out, she gets salty quickly, which is understandable. But then you gotta realize Nate is like in the situation. So near tears, Cassie later presses McKay about why he told her he loved her, but then denied that she was his girlfriend. It is kind of messed up. Maybe you should own that you have a girlfriend. I don't know. He says he didn't want to say anything in front of Nate because he'd make fun of him given what you've done, which is even worse, kind of rubbing it in. He's, of course, referring to the nudes that Nate showed in the first episode. He already knows that she's a dirty girl, so if he knows that they're both dating, he's probably going to ruin it. And when she asks for clarification, he says it's not a secret and tells her he wants to call it a night. They part ways. So I don't think Cassie knows that everyone knows about her nudes and stuff. But yeah, elsewhere, Jules and Rue see each other from across the crowd. Jules runs to Rue and happily hugs her. Rue asks if they can just pretend like what she did wasn't super weird. I don't think it was that weird. Jules complies with this. They're very snugly. Gia, who's watching with Lexi, matter-of-factly comments, I think she's in love with her. Maybe she is. She might be. I don't know. On to a different storyline, because of both of their boyfriends are being asshats, which rightfully so, I guess. Or not rightfully so against them, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. They don't have a right to be assholes, but that's just kind of how they are given their social class and whatnot. Maddie and Cassie wind up buying Molly from Fesco and his brother, who are manning a pretzels and then some stands. So they're sneaking Molly into the pretzels, like into the pretzel wrappers, and giving it to people that want it. Maddie said she went through Nate's phone. It was weird. He is a very weird fella. I don't know why you're surprised. And she wants Cassie to keep it a secret. Then the drugs kick in and they ride the Ferris wheel and hit the House of Mirrors. Very trippy to be at a carnival off Molly. Elsewhere, Ethan finds Kat and they wind up hanging out. They're having a really good time until she sees him talking to a skinny blonde woman. Turns out it's just a coworker of her sister's who's looking to cover a shift. So big misunderstanding between Kat and Ethan. That happens all the time in movies. I don't know. It's weird to assume that he was like making romantic gestures towards the girl or anything, because he really wasn't, and assumes the worst. Kat dumps her slushies on the ground and takes off in a huff, with an oblivious Ethan wondering where she went. He knew that he didn't do anything wrong, and he didn't think she would be mad at him for talking to another girl, whether it be a normal conversation or not. Kat winds up underneath one of the rides with the carny who used to go to her school and rumored to have a large, if you catch it, a large. Okay, I'm not even gonna do that. That's obscene. They have sex up against the machinery, which is crazy that Kat had sex with this guy. I was kind of surprised, but yeah. Afterwards, he wonders whether she was satisfied by the experience. She says no, walking away and laughing like a complete badass that she is. Getting in the porn industry, she thinks she's bigger than everyone else. Understandable. Meanwhile, Cassie kisses the guy on the carousel, but then starts getting a little too into the way she's rubbing up against her horse. It's very dirty. It's very obscene in public. Once she's worked the pole like an exotic dancer, and he had a very public orgasm from doing so. And has had a very public orgasm from doing so, moaning and grunting while she's riding it. It was a weird scene. She realized that everyone was watching her, and she slinks home in tears, very embarrassed. She had a very bad night. Another storyline, back at the Jacobs booth, Jules sees Cal and realizes he was the guy from the motel. I don't know why she approached him. So she tells Rue, who doesn't believe her, to prove she's right. Jules steps right up to the tent and orders some chili. When he sees her, Cal's hands start shaking so badly that he drops her cup of chili. Obviously nervous that she might press charges against him for rape or something. Yeah. Here we go. Moving on to kind of the Nate and what's her name? Maddie situation. When it's time to award the cook-off prize, Cal's repeat victory quickly dims in comparison to the spectacle Maddie makes when she marches up, knocks over the vat of chili, and calls Mrs. Jacobs the C word. You know what it is. It's a little too inappropriate for this channel, even though I've said the porn word. Yeah. It's all fun and hallucinogens until Nate catches up to Maddie and pulls her to a secluded area to angrily announce that he's so done with her. She was done with him a long time ago, trust me. He roughly pushes her against a trailer, his hand wrapped around her throat, and it's a scary scene. I thought he was going to hurt her or something. When she's gotten her breath back, Maddie says, to explain to her why he has someone else's dick on her phone. I mean, damn, she literally dropped the bomb on him. It might have been his own dick, but I guess if Maddie was saying it wasn't his dick, then it's probably not his dick. Nate's entire demeanor instantly changes. He sputters that it's complicated and that he's going through something he can't explain. You're not going through something, you're making someone else go through something. He tearfully asks her to promise that she won't tell anyone about what she saw, then apologizes for getting so furious with her. He tells her he loves her and says he's really confused. And then, in the classic abuse turnaround, she finds herself comforting him, even though she was the one pinned up against a trailer moments before. It's a very toxic dynamic of the relationship. During the end of the evening fireworks, Cal tracks down Jules and begs her not to ruin his life. She had no intentions to, sir. He's clearly expecting blackmail of some sort, so he's surprised when Jules says she has no intention of hurting him or anything. Good job on Jules. She's a real one for that. It won't be a thing. Don't worry. He thanks her and walks away, relieved. Just then, Jules gets a text from Tyler. Want to meet in 30. She still falls for it. It's a very fishy situation. We're going to the Gia-Rue situation now. During most of this, by the way, Gia has been missing and Rue has not realized it till it's about time to bring her home. Rue searches and searches, getting more worried by the minute until she finds her smoking up with McKay's brother. So yeah, those twins are McKay's brothers. I never realized that at first. Rue eventually gets her little sister home and in bed without their mom knowing what happened. You can tell, though, she's a little shaken. I'm surprised that Rue didn't, throw a fit, but I guess she's like, oh, let the cycle continue. I did it. I can't really hate on her for doing it. On a similar note, Maddie goes home and realizes that Nate's grip left a bruise on her neck. She cries when she sees it in her bathroom mirror. She realizes just how abusive this guy is, finally. Here we go. Nate and Jules. But don't worry, Nate's horribleness isn't done yet. This guy's a fucking shitty person. No justifying it. Jules waits for Tyler in a secluded area and is horrified when she realizes that her texting crush is really Nate. I don't know if he genuinely likes her. I don't think he does. It's pretty obvious, actually. He delivers this rom-com type monologue in which he says he feels closer than anyone, but she starts crying. It literally sounds like a Days in Our Life fucking, like a sitcom, dude. It sounds like a drama that you'd see in, the 80s or something, dude. It's so cringy. She says she doesn't trust him. He responds in kind. He keeps advancing on her, then uses his dad's open your mouth line, but she pushes him away. So, obviously, now she knows, okay, Cal probably sent him out to do this. They have the same fucking tactics. He instantly flips, telling her she's broken inside, and then it gets worse. When someone rejects Nate, he's so damn insecure about it, he can't respond reasonably at all. He said, over the last 3 weeks, she has unknowingly produced and distributed child pornography, including obscene images that were taken on school property. In the bathroom? I didn't know she took nudes in the bathroom. Adding that he's taken all of the sultry photos she sent him and linked them to an IP address and her name. So he's pretty much snitching on her. That's very terrible of Nate. In their state, he adds calmly, child porn laws apply to minors, and if he anonymously reports her, she'd wind up on a sex offenders list that would make college and gainful employment a seriously unlikely proposition. So pretty much he's trying to ruin her life like the dickhead that he is. He throws in some incongruous compliments, telling her that she doesn't deserve to be treated like an animal because she's kind and smart. Then he finishes with, don't try to ruin his life, and he won't have to ruin hers. Go our separate ways, even though you fucking caused this situation, Nate. Jules fights back. She says, do you know what I think? She thinks that he's a fucking F-slur. She's allowed to say that, just like his daddy. He grabs her menacingly. He says, you have a nice night. Nate, that's your response to calling you the F-slur. You're such a weirdo. He leaves. Jules is so overcome, she winds up knocking at Rue's window. I mean, there's a friend when you need it. He didn't look like his picture, she says to Rue. When Rue asked how the meetup went, and she actually didn't end up telling Rue that he was actually Nate. Rue hugs her friend as Jules cries a little, then they go to bed. Are you sure you're okay? Rue asks, and Jules shakes her head, then they kiss. So yeah, maybe they're ready for a full committed relationship. This fucking review is 20 minutes long. It's an hour of film, and there's full of content. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I have one more video to do for now, and then a finals and news recap segment later tonight. I'm out. As always, stay cool, y'all. Stay in school. Do whatever you need to do to get that bread, I guess. Thank you guys for enjoying my videos. I'm out. I hope you enjoyed my videos. I don't know.